They robbed Carmelo Hayes. They handed Sami Zayn the title on a silver platter, and if you don't see it, you're not paying attention. The WWE Universe is losing their minds right now. Half of you are celebrating, half of you are furious, and by the end of this video, I promise you're going to have an opinion so strong you're going to have to drop it in the comments. So do not touch that back button. We're going through every single second of what happened, why it matters, and the one detail everybody is glossing over that changes the entire story. The setup building the tension. Let's go back. Let's go all the way back and talk about where this feud even started, because if you don't understand the context, you can't appreciate the magnitude of what just happened inside that ring. Carmelo Hayes walked into this United States Championship feud as arguably the most electric superstar on the entire WWE roster, not named Cody Rhodes or Roman Reigns. The man had momentum. He had the look, he had the mouth, he had the athleticism that makes grown men stop scrolling and lock in. Carmelo Hayes was the guy. Everyone could see it. The fans could see it. The locker room could see it. And honestly, Sami Zayn could see it too. That's what made this feud so dangerous for Sami. Because Carmelo wasn't just some placeholder challenger. He wasn't a filler opponent while WWE figured out the next big program. Carmelo Hayes was a statement. Beating Sami Zayn and capturing the United States Championship was going to be the moment that told the entire world he's arrived. He's ready. And for a minute, for a long, uncomfortable minute, it looked like that moment was going to happen. But then Sami Zayn happened. The match breaking it down. Let me paint this picture for you, because the way this match unfolded was absolutely masterful storytelling, or, depending on which side you're on, it was the most maddening, gut-punch, controller-throwing piece of television you've seen in months. The match opens with Carmelo doing exactly what Carmelo does. He's fast. He's crisp. Every single movement looks like it was rehearsed 1,000 times in front of a mirror, except it didn't feel rehearsed, it felt real. He's moving around Sami like water around a rock, finding angles, hitting ropes, making Sami look like he's one step behind at every single moment. And the crowd? They were split. You had the Sami faithful, and let's be honest, Sami Zayn's fanbase is one of the most loyal, most passionate fanbases in professional wrestling today. These are people who have been on this journey with Sami through the Honorarious days, through the WrestleMania moment with Kevin Owens, through every single triumph and heartbreak. They were not going to let their guy go down easy. But then you had the mellow fans. The younger demographic. The ones who've been chanting "he's the dude" and meaning every single syllable. They were loud. And every time Carmelo hit something clean, they erupted like the roof was coming off. The middle portion of this match is where it gets complicated, and this is the part that nobody is talking about enough. Sami took a beating. A legitimate beating. Carmelo was methodical in a way we don't always get to see from him. Usually, mellow as fireworks, highlight real moves, big moments, flash and flare. But in this match, he showed a side of himself that frankly made the whole thing feel like a championship-caliber war. He was working Sami's midsection, targeting the ribs, slowing it down, making it ugly, making it a fight. And Sami, God bless him, Sami was eating it, taking everything Carmelo had, wincing, grabbing his side, stumbling into corners. And the crowd was buzzing because they didn't know. Nobody knew. For the first time in a long time, you genuinely could not tell how this was going to end. That's the mark of great professional wrestling, and whoever put this match together deserves every single bit of credit. The controversy here's where it gets ugly. Now, here is where I need you to pump the brakes and actually think about what happened. Because right when Carmelo was building toward what looked like it was going to be the finish, right when the crowd was buzzing and his hand was on the door of that next level, the momentum shifted. And the way it shifted is what has this entire fan base divided. Sami Zayn dug deep. That's the babyface answer. That's the hero's narrative. Sami Zayn, the lovable underdog, the guy who's been knocked down more times than he can count, found something inside himself and he fought back. But here's the other red, the one that Carmelo's fans have been screaming into the void since the final bell rang. Carmelo Hayes made one mistake. One. And in wrestling, at the championship level, one mistake is all it takes. He went up top for what should have been the finish. He had Sami right where he wanted him, and the timing was just a fraction off. Just enough. And Sami, experienced, savvy, crafty Sami Zayn, capitalized. The hell of a kick came out of nowhere. It always comes out of nowhere. That's the thing about Sami's finish, it doesn't matter how much control you have, how dominant you've looked, how close you are to winning, when that boot connects flush with your jaw, it's over. And it connected. Clean. No controversy in the finish itself. But the context. The context is the controversy. Because Carmelo Hayes controlled 70% of that match. He had Sami Zayn in trouble repeatedly. He showed championship-level maturity, championship-level strategy, and championship-level execution, and he still lost. Is that a burial? Is that WWE telling us Carmelo Hayes isn't ready? Or is that WWE protecting their investment while also giving Sami Zayn one of the most satisfying moments of his recent career? I want you to drop your answer right now in the comments. Don't think about it. Just type it. Was this a burial of Carmelo Hayes or was this just good storytelling? Let's see where this community stands. Sami's reign, what it means. Now let's talk about the other side of this coin, because Sami Zayn winning back the United States Championship is not a small thing. This is not a throwaway moment. This is layered. The United States Championship has had a complicated few years in terms of prestige. There have been moments where it felt like an afterthought, moments where the title felt like a stepping stone with no real destination in sight. But Sami Zayn has consistently elevated every championship he's held, and that's not hyperbole, that's just documented fact. When Sami carries a title, the title means something. Because Sami cares. Sami invests. Sami puts the work in on the microphone, in the ring, in every single promo and segment to make the audience feel like the gold around his waist actually matters. He makes you care about the United States Championship. And this regain? This particular win? It hits different because of what he had to go through to get it back. Losing a championship is always a gut punch. But coming back, fighting through a younger, hungrier, more physically gifted opponent, and reclaiming what was yours, that's a story. That's a chapter that WWE can build off of for months. The question is, where does Sami go from here? And honestly, that's the most exciting part of this whole thing. Because the United States Championship picture just got very, very interesting. The aftermath, what happens next? Let me give you my honest prediction, and I want you to tell me in the comments if you agree or if you think I'm completely off base. Carmelo Hayes does not go away quietly. That is not who Carmelo Hayes is. The man is too talented, too confident, and too competitive to swallow a loss like this and just disappear into the mid-card shadows. He's going to come back with something to say. He's going to come back with a chip on his shoulder the size of a championship belt, and that chip is going to fuel him into the next chapter of his career. The question is whether that next chapter involves Sami Zayn in a rematch, which the story absolutely demands, or whether Carmelo pivots, finds a new target, and uses this loss as rocket fuel to launch himself into a completely different direction. Personally, I think the rematch happens. I think it has to happen. Because the story isn't finished. You don't tell a story this compelling and just close the book at chapter 1. There are still pages to turn. There's still unfinished business. And if WWE is smart, and lately, they've shown they can be very, very smart, they're going to let this simmer. They're going to let Carmelo stew. They're going to let the fans argue and debate and comment and share this video. And then they're going to give us that rematch at the exact right moment. And when it happens, it's going to be electric. Final call to action, make them engage. Here's what I need from you right now. This community, Ring Rumble 1, is one of the most passionate wrestling fan bases on this entire platform, and I know you've got opinions about everything that just went down. So here's your assignment. Number 1, did Sami Zayn deserve to win that title back, or did Carmelo Hayes get robbed? Drop it in the comments. I'm reading every single one. Number 2, where does Carmelo Hayes go from here? Does he get an immediate rematch? Does he pivot to a bigger title? Or does this loss actually set him back? Tell me what you think. Number 3, and this one's important, share this video with every single wrestling fan you know. Because this conversation is just getting started, and I want the whole community in here debating. That's what Ring Rumble 1 is about. That's why we're here. The United States Championship picture just changed. The landscape just shifted. And whether you're celebrating with Sami or seething for Carmelo, you felt something watching that match. And that is what great professional wrestling is supposed to do.